Good morning, this is Judy from Artistic Artifacts in Alexandria, Virginia. And everybody is bracing for what's supposed to be a big storm. So a lot of snow, unfortunately some ice. I know it's hit the East Coast and it's actually traveled and caused problems across the entire country. So I hope that everybody stays safe. I hope that you don't lose power, but if you do, you have a lot of hand stitching to do or binding, so that you can keep yourself busy, and you know, when you bind, you actually can work under the quilt. So please be safe, and we are open today until 4, and in celebration of your local quilt store shop, we have a 15% off, and it is an in-store sale only, I'm sorry to say to some of you. But if you are in the area and can come down, we would love to have you visit, because we know we are your favorite local quilt shop. So that's a 10 to 4 today. We are already closed for Sunday, so most likely Monday as well. Monday we're normally closed. We just have skeleton staff, so please know that we don't want anybody driving tomorrow, so we are absolutely closed. Shop online, place an order. You can always have it be a pickup. We can always ship it to you. So we're just going to take it day by day. Please check with us before you try to come and visit us, because of course, you know, I'm of the see it to believe it mode, and then we'll see how it is. So
our competition from Fork Mountain Quilting. Good luck in the local quilt shop contest, Fork Mountain. Yes. We're right behind you, right ahead of you. So let's get this started.
Yes. So please, let's get this started. So By Annie has a contest that you get to vote for your local quilt store. And for us at Artistic Artifacts, our local quilt store, we qualify to be your local quilt store. We're the creative hub, and we won the regional contest, and we have received a challenge from the top dog at By Annie that we should win the whole caboodle. So here's your challenge. It's we need 3,000 comments. We need positive comments telling how fabulous we are, because we know, you know, we're fabulous. And I love to read those comments. So please know that we are, as the management and the team that's here at Artistic Artifacts, we are reading your comments. We really, really appreciate them. And are very grateful that we have become part of many, many people's lives. But there is the challenge. So we need all your help. We need all information that you can give us in voting on By Annie local quilt store. So we will have the link in the Facebook page, or the Facebook link. We also have it on our website. We also have it in our newsletters. So hopefully you're receiving our newsletters as well. We send Monday and Wednesday, and then a local one once a month. So there's lots of ways. So it starts today. Please vote now and give us your best. We really appreciate it, because it is a team effort. Without our customers, we are not successful. We can be as good as we can, have the best team that we can have, which we do, but without you, we're worth nothing. So thank you for that, and please vote for us. All right. So this is, as I said, we do have a discount today, in store only, and then we have a couple of things where I had hoped that we were going to have the Creative Summit launched with all the classes on Monday. Doesn't look like that's going to happen on Monday, but hopefully next week. Of course, we don't know, computers, electricity, those kind of things. but we're aiming for next week. We're almost there, and I promise you the lineup is great. The classes are going to be fabulous, and we really appreciate your patience. Already on the website is multiple classes that we have. Please take a look. We have some teachers coming in from around the world to teach here. We're also having a BERNINA educator come back, and I even have one class up there that's the Hankie class. So if you would like and available to come take the Hankie class with me on that date, that is available as well. Otherwise, I'm telling you a lot of stuff so everybody can participate around the world. So that's what we're going to do a little bit more on that today. Let's see, lots of classes. Woodlawn needlework shows coming up.
And the deadline is the 31st. No picture. It is required, and it doesn't even need to be finished. You have a month to finish it. The show is in March, so.
Good, because I have time. All right.
But you need to get yours in.
It's really wonderful to see your piece hanging in a show like this. It's really, really wonderful. That's one of the things I like about Sacred Threads. That's one of the things I like about Woodlawn is that, you know, it's not the top people who are making multi-$1,000 quilts. This is just us. This is us, and we participate. So it's great. So that is coming up as well, and we are a sponsor. We are also a sponsor of Quilting Arts TV. If you haven't seen us, please notice that. That is a first for us. We've been waiting for many years to be able to be a sponsor of that because we love that organization as well. The other thing is I do have some traveling coming up. My Indonesia trip is full. And the next trip that we have is going to be Italy in September. So please come spend a week with me. We have a working studio. We have fabulous art interactions and events and things. It's a great, great little town that we stay in medieval Italy. So that is wonderful. We still have a few spaces left on that. We'd love to have that filled up and confirmed. And then we have some things planned in 2027. Paris and Uzbekistan, I'll just say that. Okay, so today what we want to talk about is, so here's my sample that I did with my my first hankies. So this is my first little sample, and as I'm doing this second one, I'm learning actually some better things to do. But if you notice, crazy quilts are normally, people think that they're hand stitched only. But what we have now with our BERNINAs and many other machines is absolutely fabulous stitched machine patterns. Lots and lots of them. So one of the things that I've done is I have done stitch outs. And the really dedicated people do it for every stitch that you have on your machine. I just kind of picked some. So these were with the 770 QE Plus, and I morphed them and changed their size and maybe their density and moved them. I tried different threads because I wanted to see what was going on. And I did have 3 layers on this. I had a top, I had a middle, which was batting, and I had a backing. And I wrote on there what needle I had, what thread I used, and what did I do to it. Like this one says that it's this stitch, and I reduced it, and I made it smaller, and I made it more condensed. So I did go ahead and write notes on it. It's for our reference. So then I did a little bit more with, I was mostly using 50 weight and 12 weight. So this was some other patterns, and I'm reading my notes upside down, and I don't know what they say.
But
it's a number of the stitch.
It's a stitch number.
Okay. So that's what I did with this one. Then
I also I think WonderFil has the best metallic ever. So I actually did some stitch outs with the metallic. I don't use it as much as the cotton. I kind of like the matte look. And then there's Glamour. So Glamour is a 12 weight. And you can use this in the top of your machine. 12 weight thread can be used. So those are a couple of other ones. And I have the different threads that I used here. 12, Glamour, Alana, Afina. So those are there. So every time I start going on these pattern stitches, so this is the one I'm working on recently, and I sew on a 790 Pro most of the time at home. We do have all ranges of machines here, but I like the 9mm width. So on my sample, I have muslin, I have Misty Fuse that I've fused, and then I have a back piece of muslin. So I didn't go with the batting, which normally I would have gone with the batting.
Is that heavyweight muslin?
No, this is actually the Avalon regular. But if I should have put batting in there, I just was moving pretty fast and grabbed what was there. But this is 50 weight. So I was trying to show the difference between the 50 weight stitch and the 12 weight thread.
It really shows here.
Yeah.
On the tulip.
Yeah. It's really, it's interesting. Sometimes 12, I like 12 because it's very bold. Look at these stitches here. Those are very fun. But sometimes using a 50 is better. It just kind of, that's why you need to practice. Then the other thing about quilting is that we use a lot of silk with them traditionally. So I wanted to see what that looked like with stitching over the silk. So I experiment always, well, okay, 99.9% of the time before I start my project. And this is kind of fun.
So is this like the double cross stitch?
It's in those decorative stitches, and it is like a triple stitch.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
So there. And then I discovered on my 790, look at this, handmade with love.
Oh,
this is not embroidery. It's actually a stitch. And this is on this is on a different type of fabric. So
that looks like a ribbon.
yeah, it's kind of ribbon-like.
Looks like grosgrain almost.
Thank you. Yes, there's the word. All right. So
Tommy Curtis has a question.
okay.
Are stitch numbers the same across Bernina machines?
I don't know for sure. No.
I didn't.
Gotta know.
We got a no from the back.
It would have been nice if they had done that.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
It wasn't. I didn't think so either. So, all right. So, let me just show you. This is kind of my Bible when it comes to threads. It's we have them here. They are free. They're in the store, and what it does is WonderFil tells you the thread, the needle, whether it's a domestic or a long arm machine, what to use, how to use it. It's really my Bible. So I have a 90 needle in my machine a lot. And I'm, lazy. I didn't want to change my needle. So I tried the 90, and I kept doing it and kept doing it, thinking that, if you do the same thing, you're going to get a different result. But no, it kept shredding. So I went to the pamphlet. It says you should be using a 100. So I put a 100 in, and I went, oh, amazing. It works. It doesn't shred. It stitches beautifully. So it's making the right combination of the needle and the thread is really important and can stop a little bit of frustration. So 12-weight thread, you must use a 100 size needle. Okay? So now we got the needle, the thread combination. So normally I have Deco Bob in my bobbin, but you have a 12-weight and an 80-weight. And I seem to get some problems with that sometimes. Some people have no problem. They use Decobob all the time. I use Decobob in embroidery. I piece with it, but I have found that I need a 50 weight in my bobbin to go with the 12 weight. People do 80 and 12 all the time. I have just figured out what works for me and my machine. So please test it, because the thinner the thread, the less gunk, the less bulk you're gonna have in the bottom of your piece of work. Okay, so needle is 100, 12 in the top, 50 in the bottom. Okay, so what I also have found, and this is different, was, remember the last Facebook Live was talking about prepping your hankies and getting them ready. So I've done them a couple of ways. So if you look at this, I have taken my hankies, used Misty Fuse, and fused them to an Avalon muslin. And then I cut them. This one, I actually cut the hankies and sewed the hankies without any stabilizer. I don't recommend that anymore. I recommend doing it this way. So what this is I took all my hankies, I prepped them all together. Misty Fuse, fusing them to a muslin. Now, why I have found that this, again, is a better option is when I go to do my decorative stitch, which this is the back, I have a little bit more stabilizer, okay? So here is this feather on the top, and a lot of times, crazy quilters, you're stitching in the seam, and I feel that that turned out a little bit better. It just has another layer of stabilizer, whereas this one puckers a little bit. Again, it's not a problem, but when you get into triple stitches, then it's going to grab the fabric a little bit more and pull it together, so you're going to have that. I also, when I did this piece, I assembled the quilt, and then I did the decorative stitches with the top and the batting. As you can see, I don't have any stitches on the back, so I covered them. This time, I'm doing some of my decorative stitches as the blocks, and then I'm going to assemble them. And I probably will consider doing more stitching that will bring the pieces together, so you're stitching across the blocks. So these have been trimmed. I have done some stitching on them. So let's see, there's one. So this is a flower. This is leaves that I did that. I did this, the triple stitch. So this one. And these basic stitches probably are on most machines. And so I just am doing, I make them as wide as I can. I go to 9 millimeters. You can see here I have embroidery in this corner of this hanky. Now,
No, that's embroidery.
that is actually on the hanky.
Okay.
So now I have this piece here, and I put white in it on purpose because I'm going to do embroidery. So this is actually machine embroidery, Cafe flowers, which was on the Cafe machine. I absolutely love these little pansies and things. So I will do some embroidery on these blocks, machine embroidery. We're not demoing that today, but I will do that. All right, so let's see, I have pink. So let me go ahead and do it. I'll show you the foot I'm going to use also. So we have needle, thread, and now I'll show you foot.
So Terry, she gets the handkerchiefs wherever she can find them. She's a flea market, estate sale junkie.
Yeah.
Not junk, but she attends them all the time. So she has a large collection. We sell some in the shop, but not individually.
It's really
It's
hard.
too hard to,
They're all different.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that is a problem. But estate sales, friends, it's always a good thing to do. So
She will join the blocks for either a art quilt like the one she showed you. Oh, there's another good question. Can you use these when machine binding? So use these meaning the decorative stitches? Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep. You can. All right. So the foot that I'm using is a 20D. Okay. So the reason why I use this is I'm using a decorative stitch, and if you turn the feet upside down, you're going to see that there's a little bit of a tunnel there, and that's what you want. So if I use, this is a 1D, because I like the dual feed, you're going to see that this is mostly flat, so it's going to mush your stitches. This is going to allow your stitches to pass through. So that's why I use a 20D.
And those who are not familiar with the BERNINAs, is the D is for the dual feed feature on most of the newer models.
And I'm sure if you have a different make or model, you've got what's called an open embroidery foot, is what it's called. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the foot pressure. So the amount of pressure, so in BERNINA, it comes up depending on what stitch you're doing, it'll change. But the pressure of the foot to the stitch plate, and I want to reduce it. Because again, I have 2 layers. I'm a little bit thicker than what, 2 pieces of fabric together. And I don't want to have trouble having the machine move it forward. Did that make sense?
Yes, and you fused the Avalon
Yes.
to the hanky with Misty Fuse.
Correct.
Because it's so lightweight.
Yes. All right. So I found some scissors, and we'll see. Well, okay. We'll start again. Must not have finished what I was doing. So I was testing. All right. So got these sweaters. So I don't have a guide really without my laser for this center line here. You know, there's other stitches that have a guide that shows you so you can do the stitch in the ditch. I don't really worry about that too much. I get close. Thought this little scissors was really cute. And it just, it doesn't have to be fast or zooming. I just kind of, and you can see I'm not pushing or pulling. I've reduced that weight, the pressure on your machine. And I'm holding it with my finger. And I push this and it's going, what happens is it takes it to the end of the pattern stitch and then it cuts it. So I have my little scissors on there. Kind of cute.
Yes, very cute.
All right, so the trick when sewing with large threads are going to be the correct foot, the correct needle, the correct bobbin thread. And I suggest always doing a test. So that you want to make sure that you practice it. Just like you should practice an embroidery program or an embroidery sample before you actually put it on your piece that you're going to do. So that is what we have for today. I will not be here next week. Andy will be doing the Facebook Live, and I will be back in February, and it will also have, we'll talk about, I'll show you sewing it together and actually assembling it. And then the class is scheduled, I think, in March.
March 1st.
March 1st. So if you're interested, please sign up. The go or no go is a week before the class. And we need a minimum of 6 to 8 students to have it go. So I look forward to seeing you. Be safe. This weather is cold. Check on people who are living on their own, and you know, gather together because there's warmth, and quilt and sew, hand or machine. Have a good day and be safe. Thank you.